What is going on? You're listening to episode 287 of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh. Player 2, Crawler. What's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going? And it's Crawler coming at you.
Player 3, Super Nintendad. What's happening?
What's going on? How's it going tonight?
It is going so well. Guys, that music you're hearing is from On Being Human. You can check them out on Spotify and YouTube. Remember, this is an unofficial Nintendo podcast. And if you'd like to get yourself a free book from Audible, my book from Audible, head on over to n64josh.com/audible. There you can get my book for free. The chair I'm sitting in is from OP Seat. I hear they're coming back in stock, but they're not back in stock yet. So, n64josh.com/OP Seat will save you $10 at checkout when they come back in stock. And if you want to pick up the physical version of my book, n64josh.com/anothercastle. With that, let's get on over to the announcements.
Hey, listen.
Okay, all right, we're listening. Take it easy. Guys, the Animal Crossing podcast has a new episode coming out tomorrow. Smash Bros. Tournament is this Saturday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if you want to sign up, n64josh.com/smash tournament. It's free to join, and first place gets a $20 eShop card or Amazon card, whatever they want. Second is 10, and third is 5. So come on out for that. Smash Bros. Cast should have another episode coming out soon. We just got to get something in the books, right, Crawler?
Yep, just figure it out.
There we go. I got a new Stream Vibes album coming out very, very soon as well. You can find that on Spotify or just look up N64 Josh wherever you listen to music. And we got Mario Kart happening Mondays and Fridays, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm back in town now, so that'll be happening this Friday and this Monday if you want to get some racing in. And just there'll be more regular streams as well. So
and we're always killing each other sometime on Among Us.
Yeah. Which then there's going to be Among Us streams too, but those are not safe for work because everybody yells a lot of profanities at each other. So
I saw a new modification on it as well, kind of playing tag, where it's just one imposter and you can talk, but you lower the imposter's vision and it's just doing simple quick tasks. And you're trying and you reduce the cooltime down so the imposter can't see very far, and you're just trying to kill everybody. So it looks pretty fun.
Got it. I see. Okay. Cool. So there you go. That's happening as well. And we got Game Club still going on. I don't know what's going to be next. I haven't heard. I
think they just finished up Donkey Kong Country, I think. So at least I saw somebody rolling credits in Discord, I think.
Love it. That's great. So maybe Donkey Kong Country 2, who knows? I know that one just that
just came out.
Did it?
I think, right?
Or is
that out? Chris, is that out right now? Did that drop already? Those 4 games?
I thought that was next Tuesday.
Maybe it's next week.
It could be. Yeah, I think
it's coming. It's either now or soon.
Yeah, and we are 1 week away from Super Mario 35. So 1 week away from Super Mario 35. So that'll be wait, chat is saying it was either yesterday or today that those games are out. So there you go. It's kind of weird that I didn't see it as I was browsing articles. It just didn't.
Yeah, I think
it's gotten buried in next gen news pretty much.
Right. Most of the announcements went out when they announced the date.
Got it. They are out today. The SNES and NES service have 4 more titles as of today. So
yeah,
there
I
you
just
go.
got the update on my Switch.
There you go. Okay. Well, with that, what do you guys, Crawler? What have you been playing?
I've been playing a little bit of all 3 of the new games on Mario 3D Collection. William has been at my side while we've been playing. So we started with Sunshine. I think that first world, I think I got all the shines in that first world, and I've started exploring a little bit more. Beat up a perfectly lonely squid in the next world and ripped off all of his tentacles and his lips for no reason, because he was just chilling in boxes. There was no reason to go pick a fight, but we did that anyway.
Got it. Okay.
that game, like, I remember the challenge rooms. I don't remember them being that hard. Like, they are challenging. Like the acapella, no flood challenge rooms. Like, there's a reason there's 1-ups just chilling. Like multiple points throughout those levels.
Yeah, I heard. I tweeted a video of me dying in that on one of Nintendo's tweets about Sunshine, and a lot of people were like, change your camera angle and it makes it easier. So if you are struggling with those, maybe try changing the camera angle. It might help some.
Yeah. And did a little bit of 64. Man, that camera is rough still. Like, you want to just spin it around and it just stops, and then you got to like go all the way back around because you're against the wall or something like that. Right. It's just like it is a product of its time, and it was groundbreaking for what it was, but it's rough to go back to. But it's been fun. And then Galaxy, man, like that game is it's over the top with just how out there it is with like jumping around a planetoid and all that kind of stuff, and the gravity effects of it all. It's pretty cool. So that's been fun to go back to. So just dabbling a little bit in all of them. I probably need to pick a focus and try to power through, which I think Sunshine or Galaxy might be the one that I pick first to try to actually beat, and then continue through that all those games, because they are fun. And then a lot of Among Us we've been playing pretty much every week. I think last weekend we played Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night. I think almost somebody in the Discord's wanting to play. So anywhere from 8 to 10 people have been in. So they've been lively games and they've been fun. And then
some people take it a little too serious. Just be fair warned.
No,
I'm talking about him.
Same could be said for you too. Same could be said.
No, because I don't care if I lose.
I don't care if I die. I care if my teammates.
I also don't have stats like I'm at this % of wins. Like, I don't even care.
I don't know what my stats are anymore. But I will say, third impostering is a thing, and there are some people in Discord. Belle knows who she is. And I think Colt is a pretty good third imposter as well. But yeah, it's been fun, lively nights. We've been going till 1-2 in the morning sometimes.
Oh yeah, it's been some late nights for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
And then I haven't bought it yet. I'm thinking about it, buying it on Epic Game Store, because when I claimed Rocket League for free today, there's a $10 coupon. I'm thinking about picking up Hades, but I've watched a decent amount of it on Twitch. And it looks like a much more like Diablo mixed with Dead Cells kind of game. It looks a lot of fun. Like, it's a lot of fun, and I'm thinking about picking it up.
Yeah, for sure. Mr. Super Nintendo, what have you been playing, bud?
Oh, hi. I haven't played any Among Us. But I have been playing a lot of Hades. And so far, I mean, it's only September, but so far it's my favorite game I've played all year, including Animal Crossing. Not enough Hades in Animal Crossing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just Tom Nook.
Crazy.
But yeah, it is a lot. It's like a Supergiant made a roguelike game that plays kind of like fast-paced Diablo. It feels like almost like a top-down Dead Cells, but the difference is like there's a story in here, and they got a story plus a lot of progression items that kind of go on for a long time, so it's like it keeps you playing as you go along, and when you die there's like different weapons you can get, and you can upgrade those and do all sorts of different stuff in between runs. And there's also like just the story building up that is really good. You're Hades' son, I forget his name, but you're trying to get out of hell, and yeah, so every time you die you just come back, and your dad's like, oh, I guess you didn't do it, huh? And
I guess you're still a disappointment.
Yeah just as you were before.
Yeah, just the amount of Greek mythology that they did their homework, and it's all it shows in there.
Yeah. And when
Have you beaten Hades then? Have you killed him?
No, I got the Hades twice, but I haven't beaten him yet. But yeah, I like it a lot. I've been playing a lot of it, and a lot of times I'll even play it while I'm watching a stream of someone else play it. But that's, my ADHD, I think, because I'll be playing Hades, watching someone play Hades, and then I got an earbud in my other ear so I can listen to a podcast at the same time. So
About Hades?
About Hades, yeah.
About Hades.
There you go.
Yeah, anytime someone's talking about Hades, I'll listen to it. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of that. I downloaded Rocket League, but I just went in and claimed all my free stuff. I actually loaded it up and went to go in because my kids found out about the Fortnite Battle Bus being unlockable starting this weekend. I thought it was out now, and they both won it though, and so I went on to go see how much the Battle Bus was, and it's not in the store till Saturday. So hopefully it's just not $30 or something.
I love it. Your kids are the best. They're always like, buy us all the digital goods and the levels. Help us level up.
Yeah, like I guess Blade. There's supposed to be a Blade costume coming to Fortnite, and my younger son, he hadn't heard of Blade. He's like, "Who's that?" I was like, "Oh, he's he fights vampires, and he's in the Marvel comics." "Oh, he's in the Marvel comics? Well, are you gonna get the skin for me?" And I was like, "You don't even know who he is." He's like, "But he sounds cool." And I was like, "Yeah, no, I don't think so." But yeah, I've been playing mainly a lot of Hades, and then a game came out today that also is a roguelite, which is Going Under, and it's kind of like you play as like an intern, the secretary, I believe, and it's like your first day, and then all the interns work underground, and in this big huge building, and so then you need to go. They all turned into zombies and like goblins and things, so there's just all a bunch of like random, like you might pick up a mop or a vase and pick it up and then use those to like break over the goblins' heads, and then you can pick up their weapons. Everything's like destructible.
Well, that's cool.
And yeah, so I haven't played it a lot to see like how deep it goes, but from what I played so far, I like the look of the game, but I don't know how much I'm going to go back and play it with Hades taking up most of my time.
I see.
Oh, and Kirby Fighters 2.
Yep.
I played. That came out of nowhere yesterday, and I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll play some Kirby Fighters 2.
Yeah.
And yeah, it plays just like Kirby Fighters 1. It plays like they try to, like, even like the game they make it look like it is some sort of Smash Brothers game, but really it's just a Kirby game where you fight other Kirbys, and all the costumes are like different power-ups. I think the wrestler is new, but the rest of them are from older Kirby games. And there's a story mode, multiplayer.
Yep.
And yeah, it's I think it would be good if you had kids that like Smash Brothers was too hard for them.
Yep.
Maybe give them this game and they can play it. There's no like ledge to fall off of.
Right.
And it's just easy to jump into a game. And then as soon as even if you lose, you just instantly go back to the character select screen, pick your next fighter, and going from there.
Yeah, I did a first look of it today, and I thought it was.
Say you played it too, right?
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. Crawler, I don't know if you tried to mute before you coughed, but you missed it apparently.
Oh, okay.
That's why I was laughing.
It's not working.
That's why I was laughing because it's not working.
It's not working.
I was like, I've never heard him cough ever on this show. So, and then I saw your hand move for the mute button. I was like, oh, that's what happened. Yeah,
I was looking around like in chat and everything because I see you laughing. I'm like,
what is funny? Yeah, no, it was just the cough was like, what? That is not normal.
I'm blaming it on the drivers.
No, it's all good. Yeah. All good. No worries. Yeah. So I thought the same thing about Kirby Fighters 2. Like, I mean, again, came out of nowhere, right? It was kind of leaked yesterday, like on Nintendo.com, I think, and then
it was like Play Nintendo, yeah.
Yeah, and then on the download email that I got today said, hey, here's Kirby, so I picked it up real quick just to see, there was a few people interested in it in the chat and stuff, so we checked it out, and it's a very simplistic fighter. If you have younger kids, I mean, if you think about Kirby Star Allies is very, very rudimentary, pretty easy, right? Or elementary, pretty easy for the kids, right? And so it's definitely focused more towards a younger crowd, but it does have 4-player multiplayer, so that's a thing. I believe was the first game on 3DS.
Yeah, it was a part of the Triple Deluxe.
Yeah, that's right.
I was wondering where the first one came from because, I mean,
yeah,
I don't doubt that it had a first one, but I don't remember hearing about it really.
Right, it was a part of the Triple Deluxe, and then they just released it as a digital version on its own on the 3DS eShop, and then that was made by just made by HAL, and then Van Pool, who did Super Kirby Clash last year, which was kind of like Kirby Monster Hunter, where you just fought a bunch of bosses, but it was like co-op with the 4 friends, and that developer made that game, and that was about 13 months ago, and now Kirby Fighters 2 is out, so I guess they had about 13 months to make Kirby Fighters 2, and I think it looks like the same as Super Kirby Clash, which looks like it's running off of the same engine or assets that they had for Kirby Star Allies.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. It does look very, very similar. That's for sure. So, and it definitely feels like a game that's targeted at a younger audience. That doesn't necessarily mean it's bad, but if you don't go into this thinking you're going to be picking up Smash, it's definitely not that. It's not even close. So right. It seems like a kind of a cool party game, and for a younger audience or people with younger kids, it be a great pickup for sure. So, and go check out my first look on YouTube if you guys want to see me play. And again, having online is kind of cool, and sometimes it's kind of rare for some of these games to have online. So it was nice to see that for sure. So as far as other games I've been playing, all the All-Stars, yeah, just been loving 64, loving Sunshine, loving Galaxy, having a great time with all of them. Of course, I still, I would have loved to see the games get a little more of an upgrade or like a remaster, but it's not taking away from my enjoyment whatsoever. Like, I'm really having a good time. And it's funny that you mentioned the camera with 64, because it was like, having only played it about 2 years ago, I was like, oh, this is just 64 camera, but if it, like, when I first played it 2 years ago, I was like, what is this thing, so I was kind of already used to it, it seems like, but yeah.
Well, and just I was talking to you, I think whatever for the first day, I think, were we in chat? I think the first day after Sunshine came out, and it was just like how hard it is to look up
right
in Sunshine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's limited, even with how vertical that game actually is in some of those levels, especially with the trampoline tight ropes and stuff like that. Like, yep. It's hard to look around, even when you put it in the tight over the shoulder look to look around. you're very limited.
Yeah, and it can get frustrating if you're trying to see where to go next on some of these high platforms, and then one of those like those like wind ghosts or whatever knocks you off while you're trying to see where to go, and you're like, no, get out of here.
And how do you manage in Sunshine? Is that just something you're used to, not being able to have your preferred input method?
It's
without inverted controls.
I end up shooting the ground first, trying to aim up, like almost every time. Not being inverted throws me off for sure. But it's just the way it goes. It's just there's nothing I can do about it. And it is, because it's not like a shooter, I'm like, okay, I can deal with this. But for me to get used to it now, like in Halo or Fortnite or something like that, it would be rough. It would Splatoon even. It would be crazy. Which actually, Splatoon with the motion controls, I don't know if I'm working against myself or not. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, because you're probably playing. Are you playing inverted?
I don't know. I'd have to look.
Yeah, because that'd be weird.
That would be. But when I played mouse and keyboard, I played it inverted also.
Okay.
So blame GoldenEye. It's GoldenEye's fault.
I am a product of GoldenEye, and I don't play inverted, so that's on you.
I never switched that, and I played so many flying games that it just always makes sense to have things.
Yeah, when I play a flying game, I want to play inverted because I want to pull back on the stick to go up, but otherwise I don't think about that.
Yeah. No, even when I play a flight game, because one of the other games I played was Rebel Galaxy Outlaw that came out this week, and I was playing that, and even that I was like, no, I had to go in and change it, so it was not down to go up.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know, it's just the way I've always done it. So but yeah, so loving those games. I do want to talk about that level where you're pulling the legs off the octopus, right? There's one sprite where you got to go inside like a big cage, and I made the mistake of grabbing the rocket instead of keeping my
your hover.
Yeah, the hover. And I was like, at that point though, I was like, I'm committed and I'm up this high, I'm doing it. And I ended up getting through it, but I barely made the last, that last trampoline jump. I was like, please, oh, please, oh, please, oh, please. And I thankfully made it. So, because there may have been a few choice words coming out of my mouth as I was trying to complete that sprite for sure. And there's one sprite in that level that I couldn't get. That's where I ended up quitting the game, was in that level. Because I was trying to.
Oh, when you were trying to 100% it.
When I was trying to 100% it, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, I'm pretty sure. I'm waiting to get back to that sprite again and be like. Okay.
I will say the ease of play of Odyssey and being in a level and getting what were we collecting in Odyssey?
Moons?
We're collecting moons. When you collect one, you just get to keep going, and it's
right.
The whole start stop of all these games with. All three of them pretty much, because you select what mission, quote unquote, you're going into the level for. And I know at least 64 specifically, I think probably all of them change a little bit, but like 64 can have some drastic changes on what you see inside a level based on what star you're going for. So just the quality of life that we had with Odyssey, where you just get to keep going and go find another one and just keep on moving, and it's not the start stop, jump out of the painting, go back in, all that kind of stuff. It's nice how we've progressed in technology and ease of use and all that kind of stuff, but it's a nice trip down memory lane, I think, a little bit, but I'm happy with where we've progressed.
Yeah, it's interesting that one of the things Eric said in Discord was playing Sunshine makes me like Odyssey less, or makes me wish it was a better game, is what he said. So I'm gonna put out an article on n64josh.com this week where we can hear from you guys. You guys can leave comments on this thing, and we will be discussing that statement and see if other people feel the same way. That like. See, Odyssey still holds up to me. It's still number one for me. But I could see if they had mixed a little bit more sunshine in with Odyssey to where like you were running around some spheres and had some, had a few more levels that were kind of almost to kind of keep all of the games, like it was a progression of like, and maybe even throw Flood in there just for kicks. You know what I mean? A couple.
Where's our Odyssey DLC? They can rectify that.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. We need it. So, anyway, loving the 3D All-Star games. I just have a grin on my face the whole time I'm playing them. They're what I keep picking up. I've still been playing a little bit of Animal Crossing. And that's pretty much been it. BioShock, I'm about to roll credits on that. I might even try to finish that up tonight. So we'll see. I did play some Hyrule Warriors today because I just thought it'd be good to kind of showcase that game a little bit to people on Twitch that hadn't seen it yet in the community. And we've got news coming for Age of Calamity. So with that, let's jump over to the news because as I've started looking, there's a lot. All right. Well, I'm going to start from the bottom of the list first with Age of Calamity, and we've got news on Saturday for that game. And I don't does anybody know the exact time? I don't have that in the notes here.
Is that just is it a Tokyo Game Show? Yeah, run a show kind of thing.
Yeah,
I believe so. And so we're not only getting news or at least more. I don't know if it's more details or news. I'm not really sure exactly what we're going to see with Age of Calamity, but there are more details about Monster Hunter Rise, and we did find out some stuff that this game is actually running on the Resident Evil engine. It's a modified version of it, and Chris, we were talking about a little bit about this beforehand. What were you saying about them bringing games like Resident Evil 7 to the Switch?
Well, they tried to bring Resident Evil 7, and they just realized that the Switch just couldn't handle it. If they want to make a game for the Switch using the RE engine, they would have to build it from the ground up for the Switch.
Got it. So it's not going to be something that scales like the Unreal Engine.
Right, yeah. Not, or at least it doesn't scale as well as that does. Because, I guess because it must scale some because they got the game on the Switch, plus Resident Evil 8 is on PS5 and Xbox Series, whatever letter of the week,
Right, yeah. Well, because there were some people kind of speculating stuff like Resident Evil 2 and what else are we going to see here, but it doesn't really seem to it doesn't really seem to be the case because of the fact that the games have to be made from the ground up. So, but still exciting. Yeah. Monster Hunter Rise looks amazing. Watching the character ride through the world on the back of the dog or whatever. Like I'm very, very excited for this title.
And not only that, but just one open area. Like there's not going to be loading in between sections of the map anymore.
Love it. So that's just like great. World.
Yeah. So that looks like World. Plus, they seem like they're inspired by Breath of the Wild with the whole just run up any wall or mountain.
It's interesting too. Like, I wonder what kind of every one of these games that's come out on the Switch or the Wii U or the 3DS, they've all had Nintendo inspired costumes, and so I'm curious on what we're going to see in this one.
Yeah.
That and Mega Man too. They usually show a little love to Mega Man, which is great. So excited for that. But moving right along here, I'm gonna run away from the notes real quick and just I'm on Nintendo Life's website here, and I'll just go through some stuff pretty quick, but we can, if there's anything you guys want to stop and chat about, just feel free to stop me. But Bravely Default 2 has been rated for the Nintendo Switch, so that's a good sign. That
that just means it's getting closer to certification and getting published.
Yeah.
Because that is supposed to be that is supposed to be before the end of the year, right?
I believe so.
Well, that's the last time they mentioned it. They said 2020. I could see it being a December game.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So there we go. There's that. Travis touchdown for Smash. That's a big no. comment from Suda51. So apparently no. A big no. This is kind of cool. This gets me excited. God of War dev joins Retro Studios as environment designer for Metroid Prime 4.
Well, I think that's an older article, isn't it? I think that they've been part of that team since the restructuring.
So this
maybe not.
This article came out last night.
Okay.
And
I think what happened was somebody from Sony Santa Monica left there, went to Retro, right? Is that Retro?
Mm-hmm.
And now somebody else from there joined, or at least they worked there before, and now they joined too. So this is new news. It's like the second person that worked on God of War that joined. So maybe they got their friend a job at Retro.
So yeah, there are two people recently.
Okay.
Yeah. Dylan.
So I'm not crazy then.
You're not crazy, no.
Right.
Dylan. Well, it looks like Dylan Job. Maybe is how you say his name. I'm not quite sure. And he worked on titles such as Call of Duty Modern Warfare. And they've also hired some talent previously associated with series like Borderlands 3, Halo, Call of Duty Black Ops, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Donkey Kong, Tropical Freeze, and Battlefield Hardline. And this John Marcella, he's going to be environmental designer for Metroid Prime 4. So
we're still like 2 years out on that game.
Oh, at least. Yeah, I wouldn't expect if they scrapped everything and restarted. I mean, we're.
I mean, if they're designing environments, like yeah.
That'll be like the Breath of the Wild of the Switch.
Right.
It'll come out like on the Switch, but also on the next console.
If I mean, that depends. If Nintendo sticks with they want to keep the Switch around for 10 years, then who.
Yeah, so it'll
knows?
be on the Switch.
The Switch Eye.
Yeah, right. The Switch Eye, I love it.
Super Switch.
Super Switch.
Super Switch IDS, 2DS.
U.
Whatever.
Got to get U at the end of it. So, Rocket League, now free to play on the Nintendo Switch, so you can download that. And you guys were mentioning, is there some perks or something for signing up for this game early right now?
You get a coupon on Epic Game Store on PC if you download it for free.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. And then you can link your account.
You can link. So like, yeah, I've linked my Xbox Epic account. You can link your Steam account if you've already played it on Steam. Your Switch account. You pick one of your accounts to be your primary. So like for some reason, I thought I'd played a lot on Xbox. I guess not. I'd played most of my stuff on Switch. I'm a level 40 or something on Switch, and that became my primary. But then it takes any cosmetics that you've bought. That would be through Psyonix, and it combines them all. But then anything that's console exclusive, so like the Mario cars and stuff like that, that'll stay on the said platform. But anything else that you've purchased with either in-game cash or earned in-game will merge across all your accounts. So I had like 100-something things to click through yesterday when I booted it up.
Got it. Okay. All right. Microsoft shuts down rumors that they're buying Sega next. They've spent enough money this week by purchasing Bethesda.
Yes, $7.5 billion's enough.
Yeah. Wow. I'm still thinking that the reason the second Smash character was delayed is because of Doom. That Doomslayer is going to be the next character, and they're waiting to release it at the same time the game drops, which I'm thinking is going to be happening this year still.
It's supposed to be in October, I think, right?
That's the last we'd heard, I believe. So, Ninjala cosmetic only Sonic skins are 16 pounds each, so like $20 each for us.
What?
If you guys are only listening, if you could have seen Crawler's face. Or 48 pounds for the set.
No, hard pass.
Yeah.
Yay, free game, but give us a lot of money for cosmetic.
I mean, I could see people buying a Mario skin for that price, but not a Sonic skin, you know. Sorry, Sega fans, sorry.
16 pounds, wow.
Sorry.
Yeah, I got my 8-bit Mario. That's all I care about, okay?
Yeah. From
Mario Tour.
Mario Kart Tour.
Yeah.
How much money did you put into that?
I just bought the whatever with the glider that Josh was talking about on the last
Yeah.
episode, whatever that was, like $5. Plus I'm the gold member or whatever it is.
Oh,
yeah,
you
yeah.
still pay for that? Or did you activate it for this?
I just did it for this event.
Got it. Dead Cells Free Barrels of Fun update is now live on the Nintendo Switch. So there you go. Update that. Cadence of Hyrule Skull Kid DLC is now live. If you got that DLC, make sure to update that. Pokemon Cafe Mix adds new co-op team event and a very hungry Snorlax. That's what the headline reads anyway. So before we go any further, let's talk about the pin sets. Were you guys able to get them?
No.
Jeez Louise, the pins. You know what?
I tried, but
Go on.
I tried, but I don't know. They need a better way to do stuff. They either need to up the, like, they know how many people are in the US with active accounts and all this kind of stuff. And
Yep.
I ended up, I think we were talking last week, the night it was coming out. I pre-purchased it right before I bought it digitally. I had it shipping to me from Best Buy. I actually held off on opening that, and I was at Walmart later this weekend, and I got it for $10 cheaper. So I took it back, my sealed copy, back to Best Buy. So I have my 2 copies still, but like it was claimed and it was ready to go, but like this whole thing at noon or 1 o'clock, whatever, on what was it, Tuesday? And it's just like, I don't know, like let it be there to be claimed and print on, not print on demand, but like establish what it is and get it out there, because I feel like a lot of that stuff is easier for European and Japanese my Nintendo members to claim than it is in North America. And I mean, I don't know, it's poorly executed. And like the phone holder thing, the Xenoblade thing, that's already gone. That did last a little bit longer. I could have claimed points on that, but I haven't. And then I think there was a sticker set as well. I think almost everything's sold out, and it's like there's a demand for this stuff with the Club Nintendo rewards, and they just dropped the ball. And then you don't see anything from Nintendo addressing it either. Like, Xbox and Sony both addressed how like botched their console launches were with pre-orders. And Xbox had a little bit more success with it, with like a more established time and all that kind of stuff. But like, this is a small thing compared to those two things. But they could just be better, embrace the whole thing that they used to have, and just keep it on a more constant cycle. Maybe it would just, you wouldn't have people as upset when they aren't able to get it. And I think there's a potential that it's coming back in a second wave, but they're very vague about it. And even all the dates and stuff, when you look at the fine print on the website, like, you don't claim your points for Mario Kart Tour until well after these pins were available. Like, I still don't have credit for it, even though I've done my event. Right. So you had to do all 5 of the other things, and the Mario All-Stars credit could take up to 48 hours to claim and show up on your account. And then it was an arbitrary time in the middle of the day when people could be working or not working. And I get that it's hard across 4 time zones in the US, but like, find a better time on like a Saturday or something where more people can maybe be aware. Nintendo put out a reminder about it, or maybe just have enough product to how, I mean, I think we've seen sales numbers for Japan. We rarely see sales numbers this early for the US, but like, it's the second most sold game physically on Amazon this year, behind Animal Crossing. Like, it was popular. People wanted it. People liked it. And that was one of the things to be able to claim it. And it's like they could have done more, I feel like.
Well, it's funny because, you know, according to the rules for a giveaway, it has to be no purchase necessary, right? But pushing Mario Kart Tour points out until the 29th, it forced a purchase. And I'd forgot to claim my gold coins. So when I went to, like, when I saw the pins were available and I went to go do it, I was like, oh, I need to claim those real quick. Yeah, they weren't, the points didn't even register until the next day. So, you know, and I mean, you know, you could pick the setup for like $50 on eBay for people that are selling it at like around $50. But there's also people selling it for way more. Put up a post in the Discord that was like 10 grand, you know? So, yeah.
Yeah, I got one. I had no problems. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Here's the thing.
East Coast later in the day, well ready for it.
They said they weren't gonna do it until what, like the 28th or something, and then it just went up randomly. So because of the same debacle happened with the PlayStation 4, I have, ever since the Switch, before the Switch came out, I have like certain people's tweets like just on, just go directly to my phone like a text message so I can see when they go happen. So as soon as it happened, I got it, and I got the code that you need to do to check out, but then I couldn't actually check out for, I don't even know what it was, like 2 hours or something. And but then it ended up going through. But yeah, it was a pain in the butt. But yeah, also the other thing is those the same thing, like the actual physical rewards, like the Xenoblade stuff, and the Splatoon like postcards. Like as soon as they went up, if you didn't get them right away, they're pretty much gone. Like all of them are out of stock. It says they'll come back in later, but who knows when they will or how long they'll be in stock for. And
I mean, I had to wait even for something to purchase in the NES Joy-Cons.
Right.
Like those took forever to get restocked, and and then they were trying to give them away a little bit later on. But I don't know, Nintendo has like a manufacturing and supply and demand problem is what they have, it seems like.
Yeah, I feel like the rewards that they were going to give out were probably just stuff they were going to give out at E3, so they had some extras, and they were like, okay, let's just give these out here on the website. And yeah, they're just
Yeah, it's the equivalent of their Link keychain from last year, pretty much.
Yeah. I'd rather just not have anything.
I would rather just not have
like the idea that it's like right there and I can't get it because their website's so slow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if anything, this week has proven that many people can crash lots of websites. Because Best Buy didn't Best Buy go down for like all day on Tuesday with Xbox?
Yeah.
Us gamers are crazy. We're crazy, I say. We're crazy.
Well, and people are buying the One X on Amazon too. So
even that information is actually incorrect. It's just that it's not that it's actually being purchased.
It's taking search data.
It's just search data, so it bumps it up. So because I would feel pretty bad for I mean, but it's like if you're buying a console day one, you would probably know what you're looking for, you would think, because
I would hope.
You're probably pretty hardcore at that point. So
hopefully it's just somebody wrote the bots, like the bots wrong, and so they were all just searching for Xbox Ones, X's and not Series X's.
Yeah. Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 Complete Edition. Looks like it. Let's see. They got a review for it, so that one's out. Looking up.
Which one?
Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 is available on the Switch now. And Yeah. The Amazon.
Download Jump Rope Challenge if you want it. Otherwise, it's going to be gone forever in like a week or whatever.
That is true. That's true. Amazon's Luna controller does look an awful lot like a Switch Pro controller, and an Xbox controller combined, kind of. So that's interesting. Which is their cloud service. Right?
Where's the A button?
Where's the A? Oh, that's the only difference. It's an Xbox and a Pro controller combined, basically. That's what I'm seeing here. Unless Y and X are, I don't even know anymore. The Pro controller.
Y and X and B and A are both inverted. Like both sets are inverted compared to Xbox.
Got it.
On Nintendo.
Got it. So, then lastly here is the Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake. Switch box art has appeared online, but supposedly now that if it comes out, it's going to be coming out with next gen, not with current gen.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess in an interview, that's what they said, that they're going to release it on PS4, Xbox One, PC, and then the Switch version will come at a later date with the next gen versions.
So I'm not saying this is happening, but I'm just speculating a little bit. All right, just speculating. But do you guys think that there are times that this happens on purpose so that people will buy a second copy of the game to have it on their Switch as well as their other consoles?
To have a game to go, yeah, absolutely,
yeah.
I mean, I don't doubt that the architecture is harder to scale it down for. I mean, you look at some of those port houses that have done good jobs with some of those games, like Doom. Doesn't look great, but it plays pretty smooth. You don't have insane frame rate drops. Like you have a little bit, but it's there's a lot going on screen, and it's still being produced on your screen. So I mean, there's a lot to these games are being written for. Like a PC architecture on current gen systems and next gen, and it's pretty incredible what they're able to do and take it and put it down on the Switch
on a tablet. Yeah. So there's your news. Let's get over to our talking point. The 3DS they ended production. The end of an era. Almost 10 years. Almost. Not quite. Let's talk about it.
Here we go!
So I thought it'd be kind of fun to talk about our top 3DS games. We could try to do a top 10 where we have to all come up with them together, but there's almost 1,000 games in this library.
Too many.
Yeah. So
besides you guys, all of your top 10 lists that you guys come up with as a group, I just don't agree with any of them, so this would just be a disaster as well.
Okay, well, and we don't even have to put them in a top 10, but we can just talk about some of the top games. Some of them will be very obvious, because it's Nintendo, but I think there's some others that are worth noting on that system that don't always see as much love. You know what I mean? So Super Nintendo, you've probably played more 3DS than both of us combined. So
yeah.
What are some of your top games on that system?
Well, first, probably one of my favorite things to do was Street Pass all the time.
Oh,
and
yes.
so I would just being able to remember when we could go out and interact with people, and we would just pass by them and get the Street Passes, and then they added even more Street Pass games, and there was stuff like that, and the Rabbit. What was the Rabbit? The one it wasn't the 3DS where they came up with the term free to start.
I think so. Probably.
Yeah, it was the Nintendo Badge Arcade where you could upgrade your home screen with different badges that you get, and it was great. But yeah, in terms of some of my favorite games on the 3DS is probably I really liked Miitopia, and one of my favorite Kirby games, which was Kirby Planet Robobot. and
That was literally Mega Man X meets Kirby.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. And it still is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
If you heard this news and were like, oh, let me run out and grab a 3DS or even in like one of the new 2DSs, that's probably one of the games I would suggest. One of my favorite things to, like, before I would go out, because of the Street Pass, one of the things I would always do is get the ambassador certificate from Nintendo, and I would load it up, so then when I Street Pass with someone, it would say that was the last thing I played.
Oh, man of culture.
Fantasy Life was a really good one. I don't know if either of you played that, but Fantasy Life, and I think maybe my favorite golf game, which my favorite Mario Golf with the World Tour.
Really? What about that game made it your favorite?
What about it?
Yeah.
I like the asynchronous like multiplayer.
Yeah, that was great. That was great for sure. To me, it felt like it was missing content. Even with all the DLC, it felt like, for some reason, and maybe it's just because of a little bit of a disconnect from the other Mario Golf games had been so long, but like I felt with the other games, it was like, here's your courses, here's the differences in all of them, and it seemed and again, it's been so long, but looking back, nothing really stood out with that game as far as like, oh, this course was really, really great, this was cool. It seemed like I played the same 3 courses over and over again.
Yeah, I could see that being
still good. I mean, it was still a good golf game, don't get me wrong. It was still good, and I loved the way the multiplayer worked, but it just felt a little thin on content.
Yeah, I could see that, but I just really like the multiplayer aspect of it. Like,
and the tournaments too, right?
Yeah.
There's probably still tournaments going on in that game where you can log in weekly and play tournaments with people.
You were hosting one for a while.
Exactly. Yeah. So I feel like they have a really great formula for golf, for Mario Golf. They just need to bring it to the Switch now.
Where is it on the Switch?
Yeah.
Right, yeah. How long before we get the next Mario sports game?
I think we had talked last year, this was supposed to be our theoretical year of sports, right? That Nintendo was going to give us strikers and golf and sluggers, and we haven't seen any of that yet, but maybe next year.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Any indie titles, Super Nintendo, that we should know about on the 3DS?
Well, I think some of the indie games that ended up coming out on other platforms, except for like Game Freak's what is it, Pocket Jockey, and it was like solitaire meets horse racing, and it was a lot of fun. But then they also had like I'm trying to scroll through my 3DS to see all of the indie games that there were, but it's really slow.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, but the ones that weren't, I'm just trying to think of the games that weren't just like the big games, like Ever Oasis, which is made by I can't remember the name of the team, but they ended up making Link's Awakening Remake.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, the Link's Awakening Remake, and they also did like I think they did the Wind Waker on Wii U and stuff like that.
Got it. Okay.
And yeah, but that was good. I think it was like geez, there was the one game that was like Chicken Wiggle that came out like right after the Switch came out, so it was like one that probably a lot of people didn't play, but I enjoyed it. That was a indie game. I'm trying to think, like that's where they had all like the Steam World games,
right?
And they ended up coming out on the Switch. But yeah, what about you guys? You guys have any games that you really liked?
As far as a couple indie games on there, I know it's called like Azure Strike.
Yeah, Gunvolt.
The Gunvolt.
Yeah, the Gunvolt.
Yeah, they came to Switch too. I have those on Switch.
Yeah, so they were great on there, and as far as I'm gonna let Crawler go next as far as because I know you were a little later to this system. Right?
I came pretty late. I picked it up right as we were kind of starting the Smash Bros. Cast, and it was another way for me to play Smash, and I think they did a great job. Like, it is graphically inferior and it's a little cumbersome with the controls, but I think for what the system was, like, they did a great job with Smash on there, and having it almost parry, like, in essence it was kind of the same game that they had put out on the Wii U, and it was, I mean, that was impressive. I think the best game that I've played on 3DS was Link Between Worlds. I think that game just was amazing. It was really engaging. It was good puzzles, and I mean, you can't go wrong with a Zelda game. And I think between the 3DS, or especially the new 3DS, and the Wii U, you can play every single Zelda game, I believe, right? Between those two systems.
Between which one? The 3DS and the Wii U?
3DS and the Wii U.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's your best way to go back in history if you want to experience those.
It's weird is you could play Minish Cap on the Wii U but not on the 3DS unless you had the Ambassador program. It may have had Minish Cap, but I don't know.
No, the Minish Cap you only got with the Ambassador program, because then they never released it after that.
Yeah, right. Correct.
So I mean, before the Switch kind of became nostalgia machine, like, the 3DS was a good option, especially for the 64 era, because they put out so many of the 64 games, like Star Fox and both Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time, and I mean, if you wanted to go back and play those games, that was probably the better way to go do it. So, and it was on the go, and it was I mean, the 3D is headache inducing if you do it for too long, but I still think it's a pretty cool feature that they have. And I mean, that technology has faded out when it comes to TVs and with I mean, even Nintendo not putting it in the system anymore. But it's a cool novel thing, and it was fun. But like, I have some of the big, because I was late to it, I got a lot of games for cheap, but like the big games like Metroid Returns, and which I need to go back and do, but I think you were talking about that last week, just like, I'm gonna have to start over because I don't know where I am, I don't know what power-ups I have, I don't remember how to use it all, that kind of stuff. So go back and do that. But I'm trying to think here. I hadn't played Luigi's Mansion 2, so I picked that up, and then they had the original one come out as well, so I have both Luigi's Mansions. Metroid, Star Fox. I tried Animal Crossing because that was kind of my first Animal Crossing was New Leaf, and Josh gave me a million bells, and I upgraded my town pretty fast, and then fell off a little bit. But I mean, I think my favorite thing about the 3DS is the special edition that they have. I mean, because they've had some cool ones. I have the Hylian Shield one. I know they've had the Metroid one. They had the Super Nintendo one. So like they've done a really good job, just like with just simple hardware redesign, like just to show off like history and highlight the franchises that people like. And I'm waiting for that kind of. We've gotten that a little bit with like the NES Joy-Cons and some stuff like that, but like we need more for the Switch. And I mean, we've had the Smash and the Animal Crossing Switches, but like more kind of what they've done with the 3DS in the past, I think would be really cool. And then also give us themes, because we have themes on the 3DS. Also, I guess I've never really played a Picross game, but like I think it was a free thing to claim with silver points. I have the Zelda Picross, and that's a lot of fun to play, and it's a good way to kill time. It makes me almost want to pick up a Picross on Switch and just try it out.
Well, you'll get to try one out.
Yeah, today. Yeah. Mario Picross.
Yeah,
but
it's all in Japanese. But yeah,
you know. Yeah, you know how Picross works. If not, don't start with that one. There's one quick game that did not come to the Switch that I think was pretty great, and it was called Attack of the Friday Monsters, a Tokyo Tale, and it was kind of like an adventure game almost, and by adventure I mean like a point and click almost. And you go around, and it just the people in this town living their lives, but then every Friday monsters would come by, like Godzilla or something, and yeah, it's pretty great.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, there's some major staple titles: Pokemon, Mario Kart. I mean, Mario Kart 7 is right up there, and probably my top 3 Mario Karts. Honestly, it's one I still will play periodically. Like I love it. Animal Crossing is my most played game on the system. Mario 3D Land is great. New Super Mario Bros. 2 is, I mean, it's all right. It's not the greatest, but it still was fun to play through. And Monster Hunter, I played a ton with my son. Like we absolutely love the Monster Hunter games on there. And talk about like once they finally did the new 3DS and gave you the second little nub as an analog stick, it was like such a lifesaver, because before that you had to use a like this, I can't remember what it was called, like
the add-on thing.
Yeah, it was like the Circle Pad Pro, I think was the name of it, and you had to you put your DS put your 3DS into that, and then screw it in, and it was pretty cumbersome, but so there's so many memories. You were talking about Street Pass and like going to PAX and going to E3 and doing all that with the 3DS, and just like literally filling it up with Street Passes and then emptying it and filling it again just immediately. It was so fun, and trying to collect the puzzle pieces, like that was something that I really, really, really enjoyed. And there's just something about, I mean, I'm holding a Game Boy Advance SP right now, right? And like there's just something about playing Nintendo games on those small, kind of cumbersome handhelds that were really never, like the Switch Lite comes close, but it's not really cumbersome. You know what I mean? It is a little bit, but not really. The Lite comes closest to what the older systems feel like. And there's just, to me, there's always been something about that, like with the Game Boy and the Game Boy Advance and the DS and the 3DS, that like, even when the Switch was out and there were so many people like, oh, I can't even look at that screen anymore, I'm just like, I don't understand. I was playing my 2DS last week, playing Metroid Samus Returns, just because like I love it. There's a huge amount of nostalgia tied to that system for me. And I watched videos recently where I gave my son the 3DS for Christmas, and he started crying. He was so excited. I found a video of my daughter opening her first 3DS. She was the youngest, right? And she always would just try to borrow her siblings, and they didn't want her touching it, right? And when she finally got hers and she like screamed, my 3DS, she was so excited, and so there's so much nostalgia and so many great memories tied to this system. And it's kind of a powerhouse for retro gaming. You got NES games, you got Super Nintendo games, and
if you have the right system.
Yeah, if you have the right system. And you do have some incredible 64 games with Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask and Star Fox. Yeah, that's just
and Mario 64 was there too.
It was a DS game, but yeah, it was.
Oh yeah, that was okay. So not 3DS, but yeah.
But I even had like Dead or Alive, right? Like the fighting game. There's a 3DS Dead or Alive, and it's a great handheld fighter. Like it's great. it still holds up, you know, and I would love to see that series make its way over to the Switch. I've always been a fan of of those games, and so it was one of those systems that just like it had a very rough start for Nintendo, but it ended up just finishing so strong. And like Crawler was showing that Zelda, like I have two different Zelda 2DSs. One's a wedge, one's the clamshell, the Mario Maker wedge, right? Like there was just some really cool special editions with that. One year for $100 at Best Buy, you could get a black new 3DS. It wasn't the XL. That is completely Super Mario Brothers themed, and it's incredible. Like I'm on the hunt for one, honestly, because it's time in the life cycle for that system that you'll start finding them at garage sales for like, you know, $10 or $15, and that's the one I have my eye on.
Or you're like Josh and you find a uneducated Target employee that'll sell you a 2DS XL for the price of a wedge, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I even asked, I was like, hey, are you sure this is $80? Because it should be $150. They're like, we're sure. I'm like, okay. All right. Because I don't want to set off any alarms when I leave here. So,
yeah,
you know, it's just...
And just the way they went from the 3DS to 3DS XL, then they changed it up completely by adding a second nub, and that and then they took away the name of the system, the 3D, and they took that away, made the 2DS.
Right.
So then when people were saying, oh, I can't believe there's no way at all they're going to make a Switch that doesn't switch. And I was like, have you not played any of Nintendo's other systems before?
Have you not seen history repeat itself?
Yeah, and it just the one game that kind of like changed a franchise really was Fire Emblem Awakening, and it came out and like exploded the popularity of Fire Emblem, and now you know, it's just really big, and they said that was going to be their last one, and so they decided to make the last one all of the characters just had hooves for feet, but that was I guess a limited, what was that? It was like an issue they had making the game, and they were like, this is just what we're gonna do. We're just gonna keep them in. And then the next game they had feet. But yeah, that was really a big turning point for the franchise, because they said if that didn't do well, who knows, they might have made an Advance Wars for all we know.
Yeah.
So, well, speaking of Fire Emblem, I had to pick up Fates just so I could say I played the game that my Smash main came from. But even like, there's still a handful of 3DS games that still are $40 in stores. Like, they hold their value right now a little bit still.
Oh, Bravely Default is 60 used. Like, you can see Bravely Default, the second one, like Bravely Second or whatever, everywhere. I see it. So okay, here's what's funny. The 2DS wedge that I have, the Zelda, I bought that in May of last year, and that was a Christmas, right? But there's this Walmart in Lake Chelan, it's in Eastern Washington, that still has, like, they've always got these old product that doesn't sell over there. So I kid you not, I found a DS game. It was like Eric's House or something like that, still brand new on the shelf there. Like, they had 3 Ring Fits in stock. This was like 2 weeks ago. You know, they had 10 Switch Lights, I think.
I was surprised I saw Ring Fits at Walmart last weekend, but
yeah, so, you know, there's like, it's just, I don't know, it's such a great system, and being able to I'm very thankful. Like, it was a system that, like, when we would go away on our vacation, that was the main system that got played, you know. my kids, my daughter has a pink one with Mario Kart 8 stickers all over it. My younger daughter has a blue one that was in the she was a little bit clumsy, so it was in the Nerf case forever. You know, my younger son, he
has the Animal Crossing one, right?
Jen has the Animal Crossing one. Yep. And then I think my son finally upgraded to the 2DS blue and turquoise or black and turquoise one, the same as I did. So yeah, just a great system. So hey, let's wrap this thing up, shall we? All right, Super Nintendo Dad, where can people find you?
You can find me everywhere under Super Nintendo Dad, pretty much. Yeah.
Working on YouTube videos and stuff still?
Yeah, still making some YouTube videos, and I just finally got it, I guess, the monetization set up, so I made like 88 cents yesterday, so that was good.
That's awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
But Super Nintendo is kind of like your go-to for indie games. If you want to know if an indie game is any good, you want to see gameplay of it, that's not by a marketing team or whatever, that's just by a regular gamer like you and me, go and check out Super Nintendo's channel on YouTube. Is it youtube.com/Super Nintendo? Did you get your vanity URL yet?
No, I didn't. Because I had this profile for a long time, so it's like, I think it's like tag this TST, and but now it's gotten to the point where if you go to the YouTube search and type in Super Nintendo, I'm like the first thing that comes up. So
got it. Cool. Crawler, where can we find you?
You guys can find me hanging out in Discord, n64josh.com/Discord. Come hang out there. We're playing Among Us. I think we're gonna work on getting a big squad stream going for Among Us, because it's a lot more fun to play around and see how we all backstab each other and bicker and fight and all that kind of fun stuff. But we can't look at chat when we're streaming if we're playing Among Us. So
maybe tomorrow night. Maybe.
Yeah. Have you played around with your iPad to make sure you're good?
It shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, Josh has got to put it through his iPad, but yeah, we'll definitely get that going. So you can find me on Twitch at Nightcrawler724. Nightcrawlers without the E.
Cool. All right, guys, you can follow me everywhere at N64Josh. I'm on Twitter, TikTok, all the places at N64Josh. And I gotta say, now that TikTok's not getting banned, if you go follow me over there, I'm having a blast making so much content. We didn't even mention it, but it was Nintendo's 131st birthday, like yesterday or the day before, so that's crazy. They've been around for a long time. So, but we just want to thank you guys so much for listening, and yeah, you're amazing. We're almost episode 300. I cannot believe it. So we will see you guys next week. Again, check out n64josh.com for the article for next week, talking about the Mario games and how things, do we still think the same now that we've played them? And we want to hear from you guys as well. So we'll see you guys next week. Bye now.